traffic now, driving in East Tennessee. Maybe you could guess where I'm at by just looking at the surroundings, but of course this is Gatlinburg, Tennessee, a famous resort city here in the Smoky Mountains. And right now this is on Highway 321, 441. Main drag right through Gatlinburg. Of course, then you're right next to the Smoky Mountains. Smoky Mountains is the most visited national park in the USA. 10, 11 million visitors a year. The little Pigeon River over here on my right. There's the Baymont Inn. There's the Moonshine Coaster. Coaster lives side the hill right here. A lot of those here are Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge now. Mountain coasters is what they call them. There's Hillbilly Golf here on the left. Mini golf course right there on the hill. Of course, the one thing about Gatlinburg, you got a lot of sidewalks, so there's a lot more people up here walking, and it's also a very compact city too. I mean, since it's down in this valley in between the mountains, it makes it a lot more walkable city. Of course, then you got all your tourist attractions. There's Ripley's Mountain Coaster right on the left. You can come to Gatlinburg off of Highway 66 from the Interstate 40 Kodak, about 25-30 miles from the exit to Gatlinburg. Gatlinburg is about 5-6 miles from Pigeon Forge. Of course, you had the wildfire that came through here about 5-6 years ago. Of course, a lot of it's recovered up through here, and a lot of it's been what was burnt has been rebuilt. So it's kind of a freak fire because usually it doesn't. It's more something in California, but usually you get plenty of rain here in the Smoky Mountains that you don't want to have to worry about a wildfire. That year it did. It was hot and dry for a long time. Of course, and you will see bears up here every once in a while too. Even in the city down here on the downtown and on the main drag through here, bears will come through here. Been a little uptick here lately actually in bears and here people in the Smoky Mountains. Had to I think euthanize a couple here in the past couple of weeks. Of course, you got a lot of people visit up here. Like I said, most visit the national park, so you got a lot of people coming up here. A lot of people camping, and then these bears get used to people. And then people leaving their food around, especially outside when you go camping. That's going to attract a bear for sure. For sure. So, Chesapeake. So when you go camping, it's very important to keep your food up. Here's Margaritaville hotel up here coming up on the right. Anarchista is in front of me. You look up on the top of the hill up there, and behind those trees or some structure up there. That's part of Anarchista. That's one of the newer tourist attractions that's opened up in the past few years in Gatlinburg. I say last 5 years it's open, and it's take a tram or take some chair lifts up there to the top, and they have different things up, different canopy walk built through the trees, some zip lines, restaurant. And like I said, Gatlin is very too. Now you got a lot of your moonshine tasting places up here, wine tasting, whiskey. Moonshine is definitely probably the most popular. Old Smokies. I think like they had like 5 million visitors last year. Here's Old Red coming up. That's the bar restaurant that Blake Shelton is a part of. Right here. Of course, he has one in Nashville too, in downtown Nashville on Broadway, and then one in Oklahoma in his hometown. There's the Landshark Bar and Grill too next to it. Of course, they have like live music at Old Red's too. Coming in here, hopefully that sun doesn't glare too much. Of course, you got a lot of bluegrass music. Of course, that's country music. A lot of that comes from East Tennessee. Especially this area, the Smoky Mountains, upper East Tennessee, around Bristol, Tennessee, Johnson City. And there's Margaritaville. There are a lot of pedestrian, like I said, you got a lot of people walking through here, so you got there's a lot of pedestrian crossings through here, so you got to watch, make pedestrian walkway over here. Margaritaville, and over here there's the Ripley's Aquarium in Gatlinburg over there on the right. There is a road right here, you can turn right and go behind, it's called the River Road. That's sometimes has less traffic, a little easier to get through, going through the main strip. And then there's a road over here on the left that goes behind too. Like I said, if you keep going straight, you're going to here in a couple miles, you'll end up in the national park once you get right out of the city. You can go into National Park. There's Anarchista on the left. And then up to Klingman's Dome is the highest point in Tennessee. It's almost 6,700 feet in elevation. It has a parking lot you can park at and then walk about a half mile up. It's a pretty steep trail to the top, and there's a view